All right, this is James Pelton, and I'm here with the team from Windblast. I'm glad everyone could make it. We were just talking about how we have a 12-hour difference, so working out the time zones has been a little bit of a challenge. But as we're waiting for people to hop on, if you are watching this, if you could please give it a like. Again, that tells the YouTube algorithm that, hey, this is important. People should see this. That helps us out a lot. And then also, YouTube likes to see comments. So if you wouldn't mind just commenting where you're from. So again, I'm smack dab in the middle of the US. I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska. You guys are 12 hours difference. So I mean, we're pretty far away. But if you
Right.
guys in the audience wouldn't mind commenting where you're from, that would be great. And if you feel up to it, you can share this video. So you can share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. We appreciate that, just getting more eyes on things. So as we get started, Windblast team, thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. Could you start by introducing yourself?
All right.
Um,
Okay. Go ahead.
yeah, I
G.
all right. So I mostly run the marketing. Also helped out with I guess, the art concept initially. I've been working in the creative industry roughly around like 14, 15 years. Mainly in corporate branding. And now I'm fully focused on Web3, helping building Windblast here and there. Yeah, that's about it. I think Bunter can take over.
Right. Okay. Hey guys. Thanks again, James, for having us. So yeah, I'm Paul Pornero. That's my handle, and I've been in the indie game scene, kind of back in the Flash days, 2000 ish, and then I kind of moved a little bit to the entrepreneurial side where I run incubators and accelerators, and now I'm here with the Windblast team building um, our blockchain game project. So my role in the team is that I'm the chief of games. I kind of manage the game development and through this design, tech, and also the art. And yeah, it's been a blast in Windblast. I guess I could
Sounds
move
good.
this to
By the
to
way,
Joe or
we encourage dad jokes and we encourage puns
cool. Cool.
on
Definitely,
this channel.
that's definitely in my path.
Okay, perfect. Then we got Joe
Right.
and
Yeah.
Charles.
Joe or Charles.
Okay, please. Hello everyone, my name is Charles. Uh, my role in Windows is
I think we're getting some
maybe.
feedbacks.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're good. I think it's just maybe a little bit of internet issues, internet feedback.
Okay, it's clear.
Ish. We can kind of hear you. Maybe just like a quick intro, and then maybe you can work on it a little bit.
Okay. So can take.
It's kind of cool effects, actually. It's kind of cool,
It's a
like we're in a
robotic
nightclub or something like that. Maybe we'll come back to Charles. Joe, how's your internet doing? I think sometimes when we get a lot of people, okay, well, there we go. That answers that. Yeah, sometimes when we get a lot of people on, I think the internet, it gets harder and harder as you don't have if this connection is not super stable. But it's also always fun too having a lot of people on, because when I ask questions, everybody looks at each other to, oh, who's going to answer this one? So that's always fun. Well, yeah, thank you guys for coming on. So I want to clarify to my audience, and maybe we'll just start with this. I have made a proclamation before that I'm done with play to earn games, because there's been so many. There's been so many police and thief clones and things like that. So can you guys maybe clarify what type of game, play to earn game, that you are? Like, maybe just walk through. I'll bring up the website a little bit so we can kind of get the visual as we're going through it. But you just kind of want to walk through what the vision for this is.
All right. Okay. So Windblast is one of a kind NFT strategies / auto battler multiplayer play and earn game So we kind of want to emphasize on not the play to earn, but play and earn. And we're in Avalanche, and what our vision is that we want to bring fun and excitement in the gaming experience for blockchain games. And so our vision is that we want to introduce more gamey kind of experience, right? And we introduced with three NFTs. So we are, but we for it, at first we're going we're coming in with two NFTs, right? So we have three NFTs actually, but so it's the dragon or a wind, which we call, and riders or the humanoids, and later on the equipments are we'll introduce that later on after the PvE. And so the idea is that we're creating a universe or a metaverse, like or world called Chronica Sola, where it's the lore is about archipelago, floating islands, fantasy, medieval kind of, and with that, because of that condition, people or the inhabitants or the way for them to transport is definitely through, they have to fly, and one of the ways for that is through dragons or winds. And so yeah, this will be Windblast is going to be the first game, and with that we want to expand more into other types of game, and we would like to be able to involve our community as well, creating games later on with if they like the Chronica Sola world, then might as well let's build this thing together. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I want to add something to that.
Cool.
You've mentioned like what are the main differences, like our game and other games that's so-called play to earn kind of game. I guess what we're trying to build here is just purely a game that is fun. The bonus side of it of things is that you can actually earn some um, money or some stuff, but that's not like the main mission of the game. We're developing really fun, cool IP that could grow so much in the future. Think about League of Legends when they can actually manage to create animated series like Arcane and stuff, right? And the whole point of it is creating this Chronica Sola verse where we add a lot of different playstyle into one game. So hopefully the ecosystem will sustain itself instead of your typical Ponzi-nomics kind of game, where you just milk the game to convert the token into fiat and so on. We want to try to keep the token circulating into our own system, and hopefully we can deliver a game that is appealing to the masses.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and before we keep going, I want to the audience feel free to ask questions. Like if you'd like clarification on things, that would be awesome. In fact, I know the team would love even hard questions. The team would love if you have anything that's like, oh, I'm not going to invest because of this. I'm not going to play because of this. They would rather you ask and then end up playing than just like friendly not ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing I want to say is this is awesome. Like your whole team, this is the most people I've had on for an AMA. So that's pretty awesome.
For real.
Your whole team
No,
kind of
no
been
way.
to hop on for this. So that's awesome. Nice to meet you, Jake, also. And then Joe's
Hey,
back as well.
Hey, it's a pleasure.
Hi.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, sorry guys, just have a bad connection before this.
That's all right. It happens. It happens. So maybe let's you kind of touched on this already, and I'd like to walk a little bit through like what the game is going to consist of. But maybe if you were going to sum up, what are the main differences between this and like a police and thieves? So we've seen like 50,000 police and thieves. And I think sometimes when people hear play to earn, that's what they think is like, oh, okay, it's a police and thieves, clone or fork of that. What would you say is like the biggest differences between that type of game and the type of game that you're building?
Maybe FG, you want to chime in on this
Yeah.
first?
Well, for once, I think it's I think it's just a different game altogether. We use strategy, and there's a lot of more complexity into it. Like, you can actually play using the wind itself, right? You can actually do battles using the wind, but with the added humans or rider, the game itself becomes more complex as the strategy evolves. And we're also introducing equipments that is, I guess, sort of like a booster or like a buff, so to speak. And we also implemented a lot of activities besides just just battling and idle, not doing anything. We actually want to input like forging equipments and training the riders, also breeding. Well, breeding is kind of mainstream, right? Everybody's kind of doing it, but with all of them combined, it became a whole beast altogether. It just became a whole new genre of playstyle. And keep in mind, like, all of these are, I guess it's experimental, right? We're gonna keep adding patches and adding new expansions and so on. So the game itself is gonna keep evolving. What we're trying to do already is, currently we're working really closely with the community. So we want to get continuous feedbacks on how we do things. We usually reveal a lot of stuff to the community. So yeah, I guess you can say the game itself is a manifestation of the whole community and from us, I guess.
Yeah. Let me add a little bit on that. So I think what we want to express is that again, we want to be like more like the game side than the FI side. And so it's more like I think to differentiate with the others, like we think that others are more like FI, adding with the game kind of gamification, but we're kind of like we're trying to be like um the flip side of it. Like, so we're more game and we add a little bit of FI. So what Chris mentioned about daily activities and stuff like that, or mini games that we develop, we put a lot of thought in the game part. And so we put a lot of lore in it. We also have like bits of stories in it. So it's not just about like when you breed, you just match and then you get a result, but you get to do other stuff as well. So you could assign them for adventures, and you see what happens, or they get a new trait or whatever. And so we kind of want to have that, or enrich the world as people play and later on earn. So yeah. And also with the community itself, we've been blessed with a pretty awesome community. We've been I guess building this together with them, basically. And so it's been great. I mean, we listen. They give feedbacks. Some of them are really harsh at the beginning, but once we sit along with them and we discuss what meant to what this kind of things meant to them. We kind of want to incorporate everything, and then it's been great.
Okay, very cool. And actually, I was looking through, I think your white paper like really goes through the questions that I have very well. So I kind of want to just talk through like a few different parts of the of your white paper. Could you talk about, so these seem to be like the different parts of the game. So
Right.
could you kind of just like briefly talk through these different, they're almost like kind of mini games, right? And that's what it
Right.
says there, each mini game. Could you kind of just briefly talk through those? Just I want people to get kind of a feel for what the game is going to be. So could we start with breeding and just kind of talk about how that's going to work briefly?
Right. So breeding and training is a part where you develop your NFTs, right? So because we've started up a genesis of 9,000 NFTs, and there's no other way for people to add more on the NFTs. So we provide breeding and training for them to create new amenities for newcomers, basically. With that, you guys can also read a little bit how the breeding works. We'll definitely add more details to it. And so like you will have like 7 windlings, and then you assign these windlings to adventures, and eventually you have to choose one, etc. And so that's the stuff that we kind of want to give the game feel. And that's reading and trading. You'll get some other sorry, you'll spend currencies, some currencies, and you'll all reward with other things as well. And then with that, you could bring your NFTs to PVE, which is like the battler. Basically, you combine your NFTs to become blast units. Like what FG mentioned, you could use one of the NFTs, which is the wind or the dragon, but you can also have your rider on top of your dragon to create a blast unit. With that, you'll will be rewarded with currencies as well, materials and whatnot. And with the reward from PVE, you could go on to create new NFTs, or the equipment NFT basically, and then forging, right? And then once you are able to do forging, um, you are able to add more to your blast unit, right? So instead of just 2 NFTs to combine, you now have 3 NFTs to combine, and you're ready to start with PvP, which is you're against the players, sorry, against other players. PvE and PvP will be quite similar, just that on PvE, the end of each round you will uh, encounter a boss, but for PvP you will encounter other players. And with PvP, and then you'll have other resources, and they'll go back again to breeding and training. So it'll become like a loop. Daily activities itself is going to be, it's something that we introduce kind of later, because initially we designed breeding as the first mini game, but with our community coming in and suggesting that, I think you guys need to add something before breeding. And then so this is what this is why definitely daily activities are came up. um Basically, daily activities is a way for the community to earn WAMs and Crow. WAMs is our offline currency, or Westia Arch Magic Stones, which is the abbreviation of it. And Crow will be the on-chain currency. And so the idea of daily activities is that we introduce a little bit of lore of what happens to the Westia inhabitants, like the daily day-to-day chores of daily life, basically. Like for for UCF faction, they go blacksmithing, and for other faction they have different types of activities, and with that you are rewarded with WAMs and Crow, basically. I hope that kind of wraps up everything.
Yeah, and what I take away most from that is what the problem we've had with a lot of blockchain games before is there's not enough different things to do, so everybody ends up just doing the same thing, and then it's not a game. Like, what makes something a game is that there's different options. You can go down different paths. Different people have different strategies,
Right.
and so already, like, I get a good sense that, hey, you've got a lot of different stuff going on. There's a lot of different directions that you could go.
Yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about the tokenomics? So, we're used to games like Crabata. So, like, how does the earning part of this compare to something like Crabata or Axie Infinity? You just want to talk through maybe comparisons there?
Right.
Okay, maybe I can add something to that. So yeah, apologize for bad connection before. So in our game Tokenomics, we try to give back the much value to the ecosystem, of course. So maybe I will add to some point about our differentiate from other game. Like game itself should be fun, right? We used to play game before the blockchain era. We play game. We like to play game, not because we pay for the game or because we paid for playing the game, right? So we bring the value, the intention of the building the game that bring excitement and bring user experience to the players. That's why we start from building the game itself and then expanding to add some earning and or gamification onto it. So the earning itself is more like complementary, perhaps, but we try to make it a balance that it will still have a monetary value. Maybe we're not challenging Krabada or Axie in terms of the most let's say the most rewarding games, because we believe we have other value that we can offer to the players, not only in terms of monetary, but we bring user experience, we bring excitement, we bring fun aspect of the game, but we also combine it with the monetary rewards. So if you would like to talk about comparisons, so I can say we are not very lag behind other games, but of course we are not on the top of the chain. Because we would like to mix and match the monetary reward with the fun aspect of the game itself, right? So yeah, perhaps in terms of ROI, yeah, I think our community can do some calculation because we already put the numbers out there in our white paper. So I believe the users mainly also can calculate their potential reward within the game, how much reward they can earn to play or to yeah to spend time playing our game. And I believe we are up there, but yeah, maybe not on top of it, but yeah, we
No,
up there for
that's
sure.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's super helpful. And I'm actually really excited because I've yet to play a game on the blockchain that I actually enjoy. You know, it ends up being a chore. It starts off maybe fun when you're at the beginning, but then it ends up being a chore over time. So I'm kind of still waiting for a game where it's like,
Yeah.
because there are, I like what you said, there's off-chain games that I've played that are, well, most of them are just for fun, right? I get on because I want to,
Yes.
and I've not experienced that yet in
Yeah.
a
Me too.
blockchain game. Yeah. So I'm hoping that you
Yeah.
guys can
Yeah.
be that. And
Yes.
one of
That's
my
what the
passions,
intention to because yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Correct, man. Because yeah, I feel the same way. Right.
yes. Yeah, and one of my
So
passions
yeah.
is I want to bring new people into crypto. And I think gaming is a good way to do that, but I just haven't found a fun game yet. So I'm really I'm hoping that you guys are that. Um,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
yeah,
Hopefully you
that's
will.
the idea.
Yeah.
very cool. Well, hey, let's keep going. So one question people always have is about security. So this is here. Do you guys want to talk about, obviously do you guys want to talk about where you're at, like with doxing, audit, KYC, and just kind of where you're at on the security side of things?
Well, most of us are docs. Only me and actually Windblast Master, who's currently aren't available today. We're both KYC by Assure DeFi. But I think our contract is audited by OnlyUp as well. If you're familiar with them, we were we take these things very seriously, right? We don't want to be a project that's known to be having a ruggy behavior, I guess, so to speak. So we try to give everyone as much transparency as we can. Obviously, you guys might have some questions. Why aren't you? All of you guys are docs. Well, some of us decided to do KYC because of privacy reason. But the rest of the teams are docs. And we're mostly based on Southeast Asia. um, I guess, does that answer the question, or am I just spinning around right here? But yeah,
No,
I guess, yeah, we try our best to be transparent to be with everyone. And regarding the cybersecurity and everything, I guess our Web3 dev is quite experienced. So we try our best to tackle any attacks or any leaks or any exploits very fast.
Yeah, no, that's good, and I love to see, like, even there's the LinkedIn for some people on the team. We're just not used to
Yes.
seeing that in the DeFi space. I'm used to usually when I do AMAs, the whole team is not, they're not showing their face and stuff, and so it's like, well, who do we hold accountable, like if something wrong happens? But yeah, you guys are much more open than most projects that I have on, so that's good to see. So let's talk about the roadmap. So you guys are already a bit in, and people, when they go to your website, they're going to notice sold out. And so it kind of like, it makes you think, so where are you guys at in the roadmap of like, how much of this is already available? How much is going to be in the future? When can people get involved? You just want to talk through some of that?
Yeah, I think maybe FG and Joe would probably add a little bit on the tokenomics part or the crow part, but we're currently in the pre-sales.
IHO.
And oh, sorry, IHO, right? And in the
Yeah,
meantime, in the game part,
that's the same actually, just a different
oh, the same, yeah.
terminology. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, sorry for the lack of terms. But anyway, for the game part, we are closing in with the breeding. So actually, over here, the breeding and training it's in April, right? But it's probably going to be a little bit moved to May, due to we're adding daily activities in. So daily activities is quite soon. It's near, and then afterwards we'll be having breeding, and other things will more or less are quite the same with the roadmap here.
Okay, so the NFTs are all sold out, correct? So you had the pre-sale and the public sale, and those are sold out, correct?
Right.
Yes, correct.
And how did
Yes,
that go?
correct.
Did that go pretty smoothly? The mint, did you sell out pretty quickly? Was there a lot of excitement, or how did that kind of go?
So
I think FG
yeah,
can, yeah, what's your experience here?
that was an interesting experience, I guess. Initially we were so focused on our project, right, with the art and the whole gaming aspect, that we kind of, I guess, forget about the marketing side of things. We didn't really do a lot of reach out to other communities, because we expected to be a fairly good launch, considering that we believe in our art. But things don't work that way, obviously. So at first, when
Yes,
we
for
yeah,
sure.
initially when we launched, we got a good traction. But since we got like quite a big collection, we got like 9,000 NFTs. Things started slowing down, but there's a lot of people from other projects that reached out, that wanted to help us out, and we did continuous AMAs. I think we did that for about a week, and then when the staking goes live, so I guess that's like one of the um, cool part about Windblast, is that we managed to deliver all the route maps accordingly. When the staking goes live, it just sold out, like it vanished like it suddenly minted out within 2 days or so. So yeah, initially there's a lot of stress involved. We were nervous, like we were thinking, oh no, we gotta burn the rest and stuff, right? We even asked the community, like, so what do you guys want to do you guys want us to burn the rest of the NFTs if it's not minted out, or and obviously there's two sides opposing each other. On one side, they want it to be burned, obviously, so the price will pump. But on the other side, they didn't want the legendaries and the rare ones to be burned. Um, Obviously, the one that they didn't want to burn it. They won the vote. Luckily, we managed to sold out soon after. So yeah, it's not exactly a smooth sailing launch, I guess.
Okay, and then do
Yeah,
you do
but
you
at the
have
end,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
yeah. So at the end, I would like to add that is this because this is the for some of us, this is maybe the first experiment, but also with some of us is maybe the third or the second project with them. So it's kind of a new dynamic, and also with many community helping us. Yeah, it's kind of like a roller coaster experience, you know. So yeah, but I'm just happy that actually at the end, yeah, it's everybody wins.
Yes, no, it's it always launches never go quite as you intend, and there's always ups and downs for
Yeah.
sure.
Yes. Yes.
When can we expect this this IHO, or whatever the right term is? When can we expect this, and when will the public sale be? I guess for people who are watching who didn't get an NFT, when can they get involved, or do we have dates on that yet?
Yeah. Okay. So actually, what we're going to do is we're going to launch it in sequence. So we right now the pre-sales is start. We call it the initial holder offerings. So it's actually the liquidity bootstrap. It already started on the maybe 3 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. And after that, we plan to do the public launch of the token itself. And not long after that, maybe just a day apart, we will launch our NFT marketplace. So the thinking is when the people can buy the token, after that they can buy the NFTs, right? So marketplace is launched, and after they buy the NFT, they can start playing by go to the daily activities. After they play the daily activities, they know the environment of the game more quite heavily. They know the ecological of the ECR, the Perlia, the Visima nation, and after they collect some resources, they can breed and they can train their NFT and building the blast unit, preparing go to the next stage is the player versus environment. So that's kind of the thinking of our team. So
Okay.
regarding the date itself, so it's kind of a bit complex because we would like to make sure that after we launch the public token, the public sales, the use case will be there, right? So we aim to have the launch maybe in the first or the second week of May. But currently, as we know, the market itself as a whole, I mean, the crypto market itself is, still in maybe in bearish mode. So there we got some concern from from the community itself that do you guys think is the best time to launch the public sales? Well, we can answer that actually. So yeah, to be honest, we cannot per se give you the actual dates for the public launch, but we still aim as soon as the condition is much more friendly to the game itself, we will give an announcement.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, it's a very difficult market to know
Yeah.
exactly what to do and when the right time to do it is. So for people who are watching who aren't involved already, they want to keep their eyes open for this public sale. And then if they want an NFT, there's no more, are you going to launch more NFTs at any time, or are you guys set with the number and they need to go to the marketplace if they want to get one?
I think for
Yeah,
the
right. We're not gonna launch any NFT, yeah.
right. Yeah. So 9,000, and then we'll add a little bit more on the breeding. Yeah.
Okay. So if you're wanting to get involved, then yeah, you'll keep an eye out. So hop in their Discord, and I'll put a link to that. But then you're going to want to keep an eye out for this public sale, and then keep an eye on the marketplace. Because, and I like how you guys are doing that, where there's not a unlimited number, because that's another problem is in some of these play to earn games, there's way more supply than there is demand. And so then that just causes this deflation where the NFTs aren't worth anything. But we're already at a place like I would like one, honestly, and I can't get one except for off the marketplace. So there's a higher demand than there is supply. So that's good. And then this will be available kind of like right away, correct? So you already have the staking. Is the staking's already available? Is that correct?
Yes,
Yes, that is correct.
currently,
Yeah.
yeah, currently 98% of the NFT is stake.
Okay.
Yeah, less than
Yeah.
2% are listed. I think it's been going for about a month or two. The staking. We're just waiting to roll out the mini games. I guess gamified staking. So yeah, hopefully people will enjoy something while we're building the game. Yeah,
Real,
something just to enjoy themselves.
real
Okay.
quick, I'd like to add something. We actually do have marketplaces that we're working with, like Kalau and NF Trade. So if people want, they can go and put in offers or try to buy something on secondary. But the marketplace we're building is just for like it's going to be on Windblast, so you'll be able to buy, trade, sell whatever you want, and then when forging comes out, those things, the tools and other objects will be listed on there as well. But people can still get into Windblast. It's just not through our own marketplace quite yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
No, that's good. Good
I
question.
guess one of the main benefits of having our own marketplace is that people don't exactly need to pay commissions to the marketplace. It's just there. You just need to pay the NFT royalty, which is you need to pay anyways in our marketplace. So it kind of drops down the cost for you to do multiple transactions, right? Because we have factions as well. People might trade certain NFTs to get a whole set that's inside one faction. Yeah, that's I guess one of the goal why we're making our own marketplace.
Okay. Yeah. No. And thanks for bringing that up. Yeah. So it's a verified collection on NFT, NF Trade. I can never pronounce it. NFT Raid, but NF Trade, NFT Trade, verified collection. But
We
yeah,
either
here are some of the NFTs there. So that would be a good way that you could get involved too if you'd like to go get them off third party. And one thing I like about this is we're used to a lot of projects in today's market being Ponzi-nomics, where you're relying on new people coming in. And the fact that you have already sold out, like there's not going to be new coming in. And so like you are designing an ecosystem that's meant to be self-sustaining and not always needing these new people coming in constantly to last. One question I did have is for this Crow token. If people just buy the Crow token, what can they do with the Crow token itself?
okay. So the Crow will be our main currency. So all the activity within the game and the ecosystem itself is tied to the Crow token. So the use case is very large. So you can stake the Crow. I mean, because this is also the governing token of the Windblast. And the second, you can use it as the payment for anything in the marketplace. Because like Paul Ponero mentioned, on the later step, we will introduce the equipment NFTs. It will consist of armor and weapon, also perhaps accessories, something like that. And you can imagine the the variability of the equipment itself. So it will be huge. Like we go to the supermarkets and you can choose whatever items that you want, and you can pay it by the Crow itself. And then you can also use the Crow for the payment in the game, for example, for breedings and training the NFTs, and also buying ticket for the daily activities. Because in daily activities, each player only have one free ticket for every NFT a day. So when they fail in their quest, they can restart again, but they need to buy a ticket, and you need to pay it in the Crow. So, like you said, every activity within the game and ecosystem is tied to the Crow. So the demand of the Crow will be continuously uprising, because everybody need to have a crow to do anything they would like in the ecosystem. That's why we also design the internal growth, so we don't much rely on the new players coming, because our player itself need to have some crow to building their army, to boost their start, something like that. So we kind of mix the newcomers and also the existing player to boost the economy and have a better chance in long-term sustainability.
Okay, no, that's super helpful. And actually, I want to give a shout out. I want to bring this up just real quickly, and I want to open it up to community questions. So if you guys, we have a few questions that we're going to ask here, but I want to give a shout out to you guys because so I might be considered a whale, you know, in some aspects. And so when I see
Super
a new
well.
project like this, super whale, yeah, there you go. But when I see a new project like this, and I see, oh, there's a pre-sale, there's a private sale. Okay, that might be a good chance for me to jump in, and I can maybe flip the token and make some extra money. And so I saw there was a private sale for Windblast, and I was like, okay, maybe I can, you know, flip the token, make some extra money. But you guys did a really good job of locking up the token for a certain amount of time on the private sale, where I kind of looked at it and I was like, well, there's not really much of an opportunity for me to flip and make a lot of money on this. And so as a whale, that was kind of frustrating. But for the community, that's really healthy and that's really good. I like it. There wasn't really a great way for whales to take advantage of your community and make a lot of money. So I want to just give you props for that. Again, frustrating for me personally, but is nice to see for your community. I think that was really healthy.
Yeah, thanks, James. Really appreciate it.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was very frustrating.
That's exactly what we're trying to do. So the private sale is intended to the long term believer of the project. So we talk our private investor. We have backup from two big investor. So one is the like investment DAO, something like that, and the other is a game actually, and they like our approach and they believe in the long term of the project, and that's why they get into the private sales.
Yeah, absolutely. So just in case people,
they're not just
yeah. So just in case people can't read this,
yes, correct.
Yeah, I was going to say anybody who got in the private sale was locked for at least 3 months. So don't see this 15 million in the private sale and think, oh man, we're going to get dumped on. A lot of those were locked for a year. So I mean, you guys have a very long-term vision. This is not a 1 month and we're hoping it lasts. I mean, you guys have a long-term vision. So really like to see that. Okay, so if anybody in the community has questions, we have a few here I want to ask. First off, will it be possible to rent NFTs? Is the first question.
The answer is yeah. Yes, you will be able to rent NFTs. I mean, we thought about this before because we want to provide I guess everyone wants to make some money, right? And we wanna provide our community to be able to do just that. So if you own an NFT, you can just put it out to run, and once there's newcomers that don't necessarily have the liquidity to buy an NFT, they could just rent it out. They can run from an existing owner of the NFT. So it goes both ways. Both are benefiting from that. So yeah, that's the answer is yes.
Okay.
Let me add a little bit on the game side. So on the battle, we allow, or like for the battle to begin, we'll have to require like several blast units ready, and this could be from several owners. And we kind of want to think about like for these kind of owners that don't have a lot of NFTs, then how are they going to get into battles? And so the idea is that we allow for them to kind of borrow or rent basically NFTs from others. It could be from like the same guild or friends, but these kind of systems we haven't really finalized yet. But the idea of rent is there.
Okay, so there's another possible income stream if you don't want to play the game, but you just want to buy an NFT and you can potentially rent it out. That's an option as well. Then you kind of touched on this already, but how much Crow and WAMs will you earn for clearing one daily activity?
Yeah, I think in the white paper we
Well,
kind of put it
yeah,
in.
actually we put it in the
Yeah.
in white paper, right?
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, there are two things actually. There's a direct reward where you get on the next day, and a participation reward will where you get it on the 7th day. So the numbers are there actually in the white paper. So yeah, it's around.
Okay. And,
Yeah, could you
yeah,
check it
let
out?
me
Sorry,
I'll
numbers.
let me put a link to the white. That'll be more helpful than speaking it anyways. So very cool.
Yeah.
The next question is, what's next? I mean, after the game is stable and all the features in the existing roadmap are established, what's the next target? Enhancing the current game or developing another one, or what? So we're going outside of the roadmap to the far roadmap.
Right.
What's next after the roadmap that's in the white
Yeah,
paper?
it's excitement area.
Yeah, well, definitely we'll branch out our team actually to kind of maintain. We'll probably have
Yeah, maybe I
a
can add
small
to
team
that.
to
Yeah.
maintain the current what we have for like balancing or whatnot. Things people might not be what do you call it, like they might not be happy for certain kind of mechanics. Then we probably don't want to address that, but of course we are looking to other things as well. We've been talking to our people from our community about the possibility of having other games like Tower Defense or like Diablo kind of like games. So things like that. We kind of want to not just to have the NFTs to be played for Windblast. So we want to be able to, for you guys to for NFT holders out there that they are interested with the Chronicles of the World and Windblast in general, to like kind of be able to look ahead that, oh yeah, I could use my dragon for other games later on.
Okay, very cool. So little teaser there. Okay, well, I'm kind of known as being a little impulsive. So here's what I want to do. I want to just show. So I like this guy, and I like talking to you guys. I want to just go ahead and buy this now. I do not have any Windblast NFTs. I missed out on it. I was thinking about doing the pre-sale, but then when I saw it was locked up, I was like, ah, that's a bummer. So I'm gonna just buy this NFT, and so that I'm at least a little invested. How many NFT can we play with?
That's
Just
so cool.
one NFT? I guess for breeding,
Yeah.
we'll need at least two, right?
Right.
That seems
Right.
Yeah.
biologically to make sense.
Right.
So I'm
But
gonna
in
buy
battle,
this one.
you are able to choose one, because as I said earlier that we will allow other players to give kind of rent their NFTs for you.
Okay, so in battle, like, will having more be beneficial for you? Like, if you were gonna
Um,
just start, should I buy more than one? I mean, that might be a little loaded question. You might say buy all of them, but how many should I buy to like be invested in the game if I want to play?
wow. Well,
Maybe.
at least 2 wins, right, and then 2 riders to get you started for the breeding and training. But for the battle itself, we're looking to like something like around 9 units at the moment, but for one battle, for each round, for each side. But yeah, you don't really have to go that far. I mean, I know that people, some of our community members have like hundreds or 200s, and I don't know how they're going to manage later on, like with having so many NFTs. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so do I need riders and the dragons, or can you play with just the dragons, or can you play with just the riders, or how does that work?
Okay, so the main unit will be the winds, the dragons. Riders would be additional or be a support for them. So the minimum unit is the win actually, the dragon, and so you just have a rider for battle, frankly, and so you have to at least have two, like a pair basically, if you want to go battle. if or just one dragon.
Okay. So with 2 dragons, so I bought 2 dragons. So with that, I can do the breeding,
Right.
and the
Yeah,
training.
but I need to warn you that in order to breed, you need to have the same faction of wind.
See, I should have verified that first. Okay,
Oh
that's
yeah,
good.
sorry, I didn't mention that.
No, that's all right.
Sorry.
I'll just have to buy another one.
Yeah, I
Um,
wasn't looking as well. But,
no, that's
yeah.
good. I just bought the 2 that looked the coolest. So I definitely I'm impulsive. I should read more. Any
It's
thoughts
okay.
of getting a James Pelton rider at some point that
Oh,
has red
definitely.
hair?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we could work on something on. I mean, we have been collaborating with other projects as well. So we have custom made NFTs for writers. But yeah, I think FG can add that.
okay. Okay, very cool. Well, hey, this was super helpful for me. Is there anything else that you as a team would like to get across to the audience or anything else? I feel like we covered about everything. I mean, obviously people can come and watch, the trailer. We didn't talk much about the lore, but again, that's a big part. If you've ever played any, games, it's more fun if you go in and read the story. If you're ever playing a game and you just skip the story and go right into the game, it's not as much fun as if you try to get immersed into it.
Yeah.
But
Right.
is there anything else that you guys would like to get across to the audience?
Yeah, I have something to add really
yeah.
quick.
Right. Thanks, Jake.
So there's something that we're kind of starting out. Not too many people in the community know about it, but we're starting faction wars. And so Isia, Visima, and Perlia are each of the factions. And we're gonna do like a point system. And how each one of these factions are going to either, I guess talk about the project outside of Discord or communicate with people and invite them to the Discord. And, like we do games, trivia nights and things like that. We actually have one coming up Sunday. Winners of trivia can kind of get points for their factions and stuff like that. And what that's going to do is once game launches, we're actually going to give a buff. We haven't decided on the buff yet. We're thinking WAMs, the off-chain token, as a reward for that winning faction. So that's something we're super excited about. It's kind of like to get everyone in the mood to play the game without playing the game yet, And I don't know. I think it'll be fun. The trivias are super fun. People have a blast. I mean, we're all trying to just hang out. I mean, it's not just about like getting down to business. We're getting in a group call. We're all chatting, making jokes at each other. It's a fun time. But we want more of that. So we're trying to bring some sort of reward to the community for joining and just hanging out with us. That's it.
Very cool. Yeah, and I was reading through trying to decide. I think I'm leaning towards this one because I like the fire dragons. That seems like fire dragon. I mean, that seems like a thing. Going back to this, can you explain? So I need, if you want to breed, they need to be. Can you just explain what needs to be the same?
Yeah. So
yeah. So who's going to
right there
this?
where it says Perlia, the factions need to be the same. At the beginning where it says Warmind, that's actually the tier of the wind. So it goes Warmind, Draconis, and then Archdraconis is going to be the top tier. And then for riders, it's the same sort of thing. For training, you have mercenaries, veteran mercenaries, and heroes. And actually, shout out to the first guy that asked the first question. He's been trying to sell a hero and he hasn't been able to yet. His name is Boss in Discord if anyone's looking for a hero at a discounted price. So yeah, what you're looking to do is you're looking to match the faction. So where it says Perlia or Visima or Isia, and I believe you bought a Visima wind and Isia wind, so you're gonna want to find another one of those probably.
Okay. And can they fight together if they're not in the same faction, or can they not do anything together unless they're in the same faction?
Huh.
You want to handle this?
Yeah, I think in a battle, we will have something kind of like that, where you required some kind of faction between factions. So and in some point as well, before we introduce the PvE, or when you enter PvE, then you are required to choose a faction, basically. So unfortunately for you, James, or maybe we could do a little bit adjustment, but because for the old players, or the people who have been hanging out, from the beginning, we're going to grant them for them a choice, so they are able to choose the faction. But for the rest, then they are going to be given, due to the population. So we kind of want to balance the populations of factions. But yeah, later on, you'll be given, or you'll be chosen a faction, and then you have to kind of stick with that. Your breeds and your training will automatically be on that faction. But
Okay.
initially, as a start, you could have any type.
Okay. Nope. That makes total sense. So, and that was a very good. That was a live example of why you should like read and make sure you understand before you just go do something.
Right.
Yes, that was a live example. So maybe the last thing here we'll do is people are saying to show the gameplay trailer.
Right.
Is that?
I think. Yeah, I
Is
think maybe
that's
Jake,
separate
you
than
wanna
this?
you
This is the
wanna
lore trailer.
share.
If you send me a link to it, I can't remember if you've. Let me get that off public screen. That could be bad, maybe. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
like
I
you
think.
guys sent this to me already.
Yeah, I think we've sent. Let me try to find the file and send it to you over. Do
Okay,
you have it on you, Jake?
I think I do.
Is that?
Does that sound like
That's
the
a
right
lore.
music? Let me
No,
Yeah.
that's a lore. That's a lore,
Oh.
right?
Oh, okay.
No,
let me
I
check.
think I have it. Give me 1 second here. I'll have to download it real quick, and then I'll put it up. I think this is it, but if it's not,
Yes.
Yeah,
does
I
that
think
look right?
yeah, I think that's
Yeah, I
it
think so.
from
Okay.
the name.
So we'll play this, the gameplay trailer. Well, should we do a drum roll? No, let's just play it.
I don't think the sound is up though, but
Oh, if if James muted it, the sound doesn't come out.
Oh,
I guess.
can you hear it now?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear
yeah.
it now. Okay.
Oh, when I muted my mic, it probably muted that.
Yeah.
Very cool
Well,
though.
yeah, people can see it in our Discord as well. I think we need to post it in YouTube or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's very cool. But it looks to me like I need a bunch, or else I'm going to lose these battles. That's what it looks like to me.
Well, actually, so when you're playing, you'll actually be kind of connected with other players if you don't have enough. So there is like a matching mechanic to the game as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. Very cool. Well, hey, I'm excited for that. And as the game develops, yeah, it looks like so you have writers, you get more power ups and things like that. And sometimes it takes playing the game a little bit to kind of understand, hey, what strategy am I going to have, and what exactly am I going to do? And I noticed even in your white paper a couple times you said it'll take some trial and error to figure out, what you use together to craft and things like that. So yeah, excited for that. Well, awesome. This was really cool for me. It's cool just to connect with you guys and to kind of hear what you have going on. Would love to have you guys back as new things develop. Would love to have you on just to feature. Hey, we talked about breeding, and maybe I'll buy the right factions and I'll show, hey, here's my first breed, and I'll do a breed reveal or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That'd be
Please
cool.
do.
Yeah, that would be kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Please do. That would be
So,
cool.
Yep, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for hopping on and talking through this, and really appreciate you guys coming on.
Yeah,
you.
thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us,
James,
man.
for having us. Thank you,
Yep,
man.
and thank you, audience. So I always say this, but we could not do AMAs unless people showed up to ask questions and to watch. So whether you're watching this live or whether you're watching the recording, Just appreciate you guys and appreciate your support. And I'll have links for hop in their Discord, and I'll give you a link to the Windblast website. But yeah, thank you everybody, and have a great, I was going to say rest of your day. Rest of your day if you're in North America, or rest of, have a good night. I guess you guys are going to bed. We appreciate it. So
Rest.
nice talking to you guys.
All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You too.